Netflix and the Russos have cooked up a star-studded spy thriller that, despite what the name suggests, is not in black and white. It's a lame joke, I know, but someone had to do it. When the CIA's most skilled mercenary, known only as Sierra 6, accidentally uncovers dark agency secrets, he becomes a primary target and is hunted around the world by psychopathic former agent Lloyd Hansen. Before I dive into my thoughts on The Gray Man, let me know if you're excited for it, if you've seen it, and big shout out to Netflix UK for giving me a chance to watch this one early to deliver this review to you. The Russo Brothers. It seems like after stumbling a little bit along the way, after delivering Endgame to the world, breaking box office and critical records, they have found their groove, their niche in delivering high-octane action extravaganzas. That's exactly what The Gray Man is. The action in this film is just relentlessly aggressive and gritty throughout. You have more intimate mano-a-mano fighting sequences, and then you have big scale action set pieces on a falling plane, or on a moving train, or in a big town square. The Russos just know how to step up the adrenaline game throughout, and they do a great job here. Their direction is filled with energy, and they know how to shoot action. This feels more in line with their work in The Winter Soldier over anything else. The fights are choreographed overall very well, feeling like a mix of what we saw in Winter Soldier meeting a little bit of the Mission Impossible movies, giving it a little bit of that gritty edge without going too much, because the film is PG-13, which we'll get to talk about the rating when we come to my issues. And not only are the Russos capable of delivering this grippy, globe-trotting action, they're also able to reel it back when necessary and allow the characters to have these more intimate moments. The Russos can really be internal on character, and it's the balance that they display in this film, as well as their previous works, particularly in the MCU, that really elevate them as storytellers. But overall, it's just great to see the Russos' visual style falling back a little bit into what we know and recognize to be their best works. There's an elongated sequence, guys, that starts at a town square, moves onto a moving train, and just escalates from there. And the film has this great sense of keeping up the pace and ever escalating the action set pieces, which I was so in for throughout the entire runtime. And like I said, this is a star-studded cast. But before we move on to the cast, if you're enjoying this video, if you love movies and TV, this is the place to be. So make sure you click that subscribe button and you won't miss any future conversation on your favorite movies and TV. And when it comes to our cast, we have an endless list of talent, from Ryan Gosling to Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Julia Butters, Billy Bob Thornton, Jessica Hennick, and so many others. Ryan Gosling brings his stoic toughness and charm, as well as his sardonic sense of humor, where he just recognizes certain situations for how ridiculous they are, but still being his subverted self, playing it very subtly, while Chris Evans is just outlandish throughout this film. It's just fun to see Chris Evans being a bad guy. I always love a villain who loves being bad, and this guy relishes torturing people, be it physically or psychologically, and the amount of fun he has at the expense of seeing Ryan Gosling suffer on this mission he's relentlessly pursuing to capture this guy. It's just tremendously fun to see. Now, the film doesn't allow us to get too much of the two on screen together, but when they are on screen together, you're so relieved to finally see it happening. It's amazing, from their first meeting to an eventual fight that breaks out between the two, that again, choreographed extremely well, I found. Julia Butters, I think I knew she was in this film, but the notion of it had escaped me. Once I saw it, once she's on screen, she steals every moment on camera. And she has tremendous chemistry with Ryan Gosling, where the two are bonded through this narrative that grounds the film in really nice emotionality. My heart just melted a little bit every time Julia Butters was on screen, and particularly when she appeals more to the hidden humanity of Gosling's character. And Adna de Armas, just a true badass. She keeps up the pace with Gosling throughout, even sharing a fight sequence with him. So these two ladies are just scene stealers. And the film has a ton of real dark humor. This dark sense of humor that is very well delivered by Gosling, by Armas, and even in this outlandish shit situation that these characters find themselves in, there is a time to deliver these jokes that just fall really well into proceedings, giving it this necessary edge. Where I found my biggest issues was the one-note characterizations, which was surprising given that the film is based on a book, but it is written by Marcus and McFeely, who delivered Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. There is an elevating of what is on the script by the endless charm and charisma of the cast, but we've seen versions of these characters before. We've seen versions of these character dynamics before. So while the set pieces work, the cast certainly elevates a perfectly solid, acceptable script. It just isn't elevated to become something like the John Wick franchise or even the Mission Impossible movies. They're naturally tropes of the genre, so there is some enjoyment in there, but I just wish the writing had given more to these characters. Despite the story and the dynamics being fun, they just feel a little bit too familiar if not for having this cast playing these roles. Ultimately, I also felt that an R rating would have desperately helped this film. It's not completely stripped of grit, aggressiveness, or even literal scenes of torture, but with Chris Evans playing such an outlandishly evil man, the whole setting going around the world trying to capture a rogue CIA agent, filled with tremendous action and violent fight sequences, the film could have used with more aggressive visuals, more blood, maybe even more swearing. The scenes throughout feel violent and painful, they just don't feel brutally violent and brutally painful. So while The Gray Man delivers an admittedly tropey script, it is for fans of the genre all the elements that made us fall in love with spy action thrillers. So despite a lot of its tropiness, there is a lot of enjoyment to be taken from the tropiness of it all. The Gray Man is a gripping spy caper with bombastic, ever-escalating action set pieces, as Ryan Gosling's stoic charm is perfectly combated by Chris Evans' devilish flamboyance. Kick-ass, adrenaline-fueled, and I had a blast from beginning to end. I'm giving The Gray Man a B+. That's my review of The Gray Man, so now it's up to you to keep the conversation going in the comments below with your thoughts. What was your favorite action sequence, your favorite character, who would you like to see more of? Thank you so much for watching. Big thanks once more to Netflix UK, and thank you to my channel members for always supporting the channel. I'll be back very soon, and until then, love each other, and love the movies.